Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're bringing you our most played games of June 2022. This one's coming out a little bit late. I've had a crazy few weeks at work, and as you can see, the production of the channel has really ground to a near halt, but we are still bringing you stuff. We still have to give you our top 10 favorite games of all time to finish out the top 50 that we already started. So that'll be the next video that comes out, but right now we're gonna get into the top 3 most played games of June. We're gonna do that in 3 minutes, starting now. So number 3 is Medora, Unintentional Malum Act 1 with 3 plays. This one is the one that I'm very excited to finally be getting back into. It is a massive campaign. I mean, it technically is a 3-part campaign, but this is part 1. And it has these characters that are very distinct in the story, but you get to create their skill set, you get to build their inventory, all that stuff, and really make them work the way you want them to work. And it has a story book that's like that thick that is also the mission book. So as you read through this thing, you are reading through basically a fantasy novel, and it takes place in a non-typical fantasy world. It's like almost like parts of Earth have smashed into this fantasy world, and people have gone through, but there's still things that seem familiar. That's Medora, Unintentional Malum Act 1. Number 2 is Ticket to Ride First Journey with 4 plays. This is the kid weight Ticket to Ride game. It's when we got my kids for Christmas. My wife and I got it for them for Christmas, and they didn't seem to like it too much after Christmas, but then we played it this month, and all of a sudden they have started really grasping it, and maybe it was just a little bit too early for them when we were playing it before. Much simplified version of Ticket to Ride, which is already considered by many to be an entry-level game for the hobby anyway, but this one really breaks it down to the absolute basics for kids, and it's still decently fun for adults. I mean, I would never pull it off the shelf to play with just other adults, but to play with kids, it's a lot of fun. I strongly recommend it if you've got kids. My 6-year-old really grasps it, and the 4-year-old is doing a pretty good job with it with some help. That's Ticket to Ride First Journey. And then finally, number 1, we have Nemesis Lockdown. Holy crap, this game has really grabbed my attention. I've put out, I think the last 4 videos I put out on the channel were Nemesis Lockdown. I'm in the middle of filming the instructional series. I've got part 1 and 2 out. I got a short part 3 coming out. That'll wrap up the main base game. This is basically Aliens the movie as a board game, except legally distinct from that. You are on Mars. You have all these aliens that are coming in attacking you, but they have to find you first, so you gotta be careful how much noise you make, because maybe if you don't make too much noise, you can avoid them. Also, by the way, the other players, not necessarily on your team. Sure, they want to fight the aliens, or they don't want to fight the aliens, but they want to get away from the aliens, but they don't necessarily want you to get away from them too. So you have this sort of uneasy alliance sometimes, but like literally some of the secret objectives that your opponents may have may be that you have to die. You can't directly attack the other players because, like I said, technically you're on the same team, but you sure can seal them in a room with an alien that's on fire. You know, a room that's on fire with an alien, that sort of thing, or vent a room that they're in. You know, that all kinds of stuff like that can be done. It's also a good time solo. It loses a step solo, but it is still fun solo, and it's a blast with multiple players. That's Nemesis Lockdown. Definitely check that one out if you haven't seen it. Check out my videos for it. I've got 2 gameplays out. I'm going to do a 3rd one. I did 1 gameplay underground, 1 gameplay on the surface of Mars, and then I'm going to do a 3rd one where I'm going to be using the expansion aliens rather than the base game aliens. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to come back later this week when we put out our top 10 favorite games of all time. And until next time, for Board Online, Board Offline.